Another video just for you guys. So we're in the garage today, and Miha's here. This is Michelle. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
How's work?
Good.
So one of my videos, I actually had her in my video. We'll get to hopefully one day share that story of this lovely young lady. This is my son's best friend's girlfriend. So one day we'll share with that this little lovely story. I'm very proud of her. She's a graduate of UTI. Am I saying? Yeah. So UTI. She graduated from UTI. Let me see your hands. Show me your hands. Show me the other side. No, there you go. These are wrench turning hands. So you're working over at a Volkswagen dealership?
Mm-hmm.
Proud of her. Proud of her. Yeah. So she's going to help me make the video today. May have her give me a helping hand. So today what we're going to be talking about is that high pressure fuel pump. So what that ended up happening, not on mine, but on my son's SHO. So we ended up as a Band-Aid because we needed to hurry up. We were buying parts and we forgot to buy the OEM part. So I needed something really quick. So we ended up Amazoning a part. So before someone gets their ass checked, why didn't you pump the brakes? So we ended up ordering a bunch of OEM parts to get his SHO up and running. And he tells me, he goes, fuel pump. I'm like, damn. So needless to say, I talked to the auto parts store. I'm like, you know what? Let me just buy something cheap, something real quick, something for a Band-Aid. Here's where the story gets very interesting. My son did not tell me that he was having an issue starting the car. The car would crank, and it would crank for a long time and ultimately finally start. Wouldn't take long, but it'd take a little bit longer than usual. So he calls me up. He goes, I'm hearing a knock sound coming from the engine. He was livid. Needless to say, do keep in mind, remember our story that we rebuilt both engines. And I'm like, all right. He comes to the garage. We take a look at it. And I'm like, rev it just a hair. So normal RPM is what, 600, 700? More or less right around there?
1,000, no?
No, should be less than 1,000. Needless to say, I had him just a couple hundred, and the noise was starting to go away. There was this hair, and it sounded like a rod knock. So why am I still here? So what ended up happening, like I was telling my son, because I went to get in the car and start it, shut it off and start it again, it took long. And I'm like, hold on, something's wrong. I'm listening to the fuel pump. I went to my car, which is this one that was parked up in front. I'm listening to it. Yeah, something's wrong here. So our little, tiny little, what sounded like a rod knock was this fuel pump. What ended up happening is as it started to get compressed, it compressed and locked and kept the bucket from, was bouncing the bucket up and down. The little cam follower. So that was the noise that we were listening to. So did you guys ever have a position, be in a position, you guys are hearing something, you guys are starting the vehicle, and it's taking long, and you're getting a fuel rail code? That's something to question. Is it the fuel pump in the back? Is it the relay? Is it this? But what we ended up doing, we already changed the relay that was in the back. So my mechanic said, let's start with that. It was a lifetime warranty part, and it was a Dorman for what I showed you guys before. So we warrantied it out. He goes, yeah, I'm getting a little bit better fuel pressure. It's a lot better where I like to see it. And he's going through his scan tool, looking at the graph and everything. He goes, okay. He goes to start it up. He calls me up. He goes, can't start the car. And I'm like, yep, it's the fuel pump. He goes, you think so? I said, I know so. Fuck that. If you're starting this vehicle and it's crank, and you got fuel coming from over there to this way, yeah, this fucker's bad. He said, get me another one. So called the dealership. We ended up getting an OEM part on his vehicle. And back to this little guy. Again, it was just a Band-Aid. I didn't know how long it was going to, take for it to fail. And, to say it failed sooner than what I expected. Should you guys hear this weird noise of a rod knock, okay, ever so gently, just something small. I had to pause because the garage door is being open and my son's home. So, man-child is home. Make video. Okay, I'm gonna go turn this way. He said, no, don't make video. So, yeah, that little hair of a rod knock, and there was 3 of us in the garage, and I'm like, all right, am I right? Am I hearing this rod knock of a noise here? My son's like, no, yeah, you're right. I said, listen to it over here, listen to it over here. He said, no, it's coming from here. So he's like, okay. So ultimately, it was this. OEM, yeah, never fails. Get an OEM part. So should you guys be in a position where you guys are hearing something and it's like, man, this don't sound right. Yep, could be your fuel pump. So that was a really weird situation. I figured I'd share that with you guys. And like I said, it was a hair. It almost sounded like a rod knock, but when I went underneath the car, it was quiet. When I came back up here, I found the noise here. And it sounded like a damn rod knock. But very, very tiny. So yeah, be careful. Careful of the parts that you buy. Again, we already know this was going to be a Band-Aid. I knew this was going to fail. Just didn't know how fast it was going to fail. I needed enough wiggle room. So that's why we did what we did. Find an OEM part and you should be all set to go. Alright? Holla at your boy.